Hey guys, Jossa here, and my mic's working for a start, so that's good. And this video, I'm just going to be looking at the Pacific levels, and instead of going like, oh, I'm going to be talking about this level and the first reactions, because I've technically already done that, but again, the microphone was not working, because OBS is a bitch, but this time I'm actually going to look over the levels, explain some of the weapons, and more or less talk about which side I think has the advantage and why, or if both sides have neither side have the advantage. Of course, this is the first impressions. This isn't going to be a guarantee. We will have to see. We'll start with the Japanese all of the time because why not? They get the Arasaka Type 38 rifle carbine for their regular their starting rifle. The Type 38 Arasaka long rifle is going to be their first silver order buy with the TAS-C, I believe it is, which is as you can see, a SPAAG, which is going to have it's an armoured, it's basically a tank with a flat gun, kind of like a Panzer II in a way, but it can also be effective against aircraft, probably more effective than the Panzer II, to be honest. They also can get the Type 97 sniper rifle. For the Americans, they'll get the Springfield, which is going to be their base rifle. They get the A1, which is the USMC version of the rifle, which is going to be their first unlock. The M13 machine gun carriage, which is or essentially the meat chopper from Company of Heroes 2, going to be their first unlock. And the A3 sniper, which is unique to this campaign, is going to be their other unlock. Now, as for all of who I think has the better advantage, I think it's probably going to go to the Japanese for this one because the TAS-C mostly, but also because I think the Arasaka carbine will probably be better than the Springfield. So, yeah. For level 2, it's the S100, which is an MP34, and the M50 Rising, whatever it's called. Now, I think this is going to be a joint because I think that they're both pretty good. I think it'll be a joint one between this, and I think that this one's gonna be interesting. After that, we have level 3, which is going to be the Type 1 versus the P14. Now, for reference, the Type 1 is either going to be the Type 1 rifle, which is going to be essentially a Kar 98K, or it could be the Type I rifle, which is a Carcano. So this could be just either Kar 98K or Carcano versus the P14, which is a Ross rifle. I'm going to give this to the Type 1 because I don't like the Ross rifle. I'm not going to be talking about planes because who gives a shit. For the anti-tank rifles, not really again, probably the same. But this is going to be an interesting one. The Type 100 SMG versus the M3 grease gun. Now, I'm going to go with the Type 100 because it's going, as you can see up here, it's got a bayonet, and also the grease gun is shit. This one's also quite interesting. The Type 11 LMG versus the Browning M1918 LMG. Now, the 1918 was, of course, a premium squad in Normandy before it got removed. So we already know how the M1918 plays, and it's basically a worse version of the A1. So the 1918 is still a very good LMG, but I'm probably gonna give this a joint because I don't know what the Type 11 is gonna be like, but I know what the 1918 is gonna be like, and I think it'll be joint. Mortars, no one gives a shit about. And here comes an interesting one: the Hargo versus the M2A4. Now, for the M2A4, it's obviously it was the tank before the Stuart. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to say it might go to the Hargo because the Hargo was a decent tank in the early war, obviously, and I think against something like a Stuart, the Hargo will win. Obviously, of course, if they had a Sherman to do the Pacific, oh dear God, it won't win. Now, this is the interesting one. The Type High rifle versus the M1 carbine. Now, I don't know how this one's going to be. It really depends on what the Type High is going to be like. If it's just going to be a 5 round like, if it's going to be like the Armor Gavir, then it will probably be the Type, I'd give it to the Type High. The M1 Carbine isn't that good, in my opinion. It's still not a good thing. And I know people who say, oh, you have to use it, people have asked me to use it. I have used it. It's not good. I think the Type He will probably be high, whatever it's called. This one will probably be the better option. This one's going to be the interesting one. We've got the Browning Auto 5 versus the Type 95. Now, these are just two, these are kind of interesting. Now, the Browning Auto 5 is probably one of the better, it will probably be one of the best shotguns because it didn't receive the nerf that other shotguns got. Because I've actually used this in a couple custom games, and this thing isn't actually too bad. It's kind of annoying with its reload, but it isn't too bad. And obviously, the Katana. I think this will be very good. I think this one will be interesting. I'm going to give it to the Katana over the Browning Auto 5. I don't care about the planes. Who cares? This one's going to be the Type 99 Aristotle rifle late, which is probably it's probably going to be the long rifle versus the Garand. Now, you can tell this is a bolt action versus a semi-auto. Did it actually? Yeah. I'm definitely going with the Garand here. I'm sorry. I know the bolt actions receive the buff, but I think the Garand is just going to be much better than this. And I mean, it's a Garand. You can't go wrong with the Garand. And yeah, flamethrowers, they're essentially the same. This one's going to be very interesting. You've got the MP38 and MP28 versus the Owen gun. Now, the MP28 is, of course, modified, so this could be one which has an increased magazine, maybe like a 30-40 round magazine, versus the Owen. I think that I am going to go with the Owen, though, because I know how the MP28 plays, and I don't like the MP28. No one cares about planes, so we'll move on. This one's going to be the Type 38 with the grenade versus the Springfield with the grenade. I'm going to go with the Type 38 because I think the Type 38 will probably be better than the Springfield. I hate the Springfield. Type 99 versus the Springfield. Type 99 again. No one cares about planes. This one's the interesting one though. The Type 97 LMG versus the A2 BAR. Now, first off, it's great that the BAR A2 is now, you can get it as a 2 silver order because in the other campaigns it's a 3 silver. I think it is definitely going to go to the BAR A2. The A2 is too good. Like, it is in my opinion, it's the second best LMG in the game, behind the 1919 A6. And when you're losing to the 1919 A6, you're beating every other LMG in the game, yeah. The A2 is just too good. I'm going to have to go with that one. The bazooka versus the Type 5, it really depends. If the Type 5 can actually kill stuff, can kill tanks, I will give it to the Type 5. I'm probably going to give this one to the Type 5, actually, because the bazooka is kind of crap. The Type Otsu rifle versus the 1941. Now, this is I think it's probably going to go to the Otsu. Now, the reason is because the Johnson's outclassed, in my opinion, by the Garand. And this will be essentially the Japanese. Really, they're going to get a good early advantage with this. They might get a good early advantage with this semi-auto. But by the time they get to this, it'll probably be more the same. After this, they get the Keeney, which I don't know what tank this is, versus the Stuart. It'll probably be the exact same as before. I think this will be an even. Type 100 versus the M2, exact same. This is going to be the interesting one, though. The Type 2 versus the M1A1. Now, it does say it has a useful slow fire mode, which is the same as the BAR A2, which has the full auto. I don't think it's going to be as useful as the slow fire is on the BAR. So I'm going to give this to the M1A1 Thompson still. And then, of course, you've got the Johnson LMG versus Type 96. I'm probably going to give it to the to the Johnson, because it says it has a very rare slower automatic fire mode. Oh god, yeah, I'm definitely giving it to the Johnson because of that. If you don't know, the slow auto fire is one of the best. Is one of the best fire modes in the game. It's because that thing just basically the BAR A2 has it as well. So I think the Johnson could actually now overtake the A2 as the second best LMG in the game. It might. I don't know if it'll be better than the 1919 A6. So overall, I think the Japanese will have some advantages, especially in the earlier stages of the campaign. They're going to have some advantages. Even in the mid stage as well, they're going to have some few surprises. They're going to have a few surprises scattered here and there, like this rifle here will be a good surprise. You know, maybe even the Type 2 might be quite good. And obviously the Type 96 will probably be pretty solid as well. But I think, I actually don't know which side's going to have it better. I think they both have really good advantages and we'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, I might actually end up going for the Japanese for my first playthrough. I might end up going as the Weebs. Actually, no, this was pre-Weebs. I might end up going as the Japanese and then maybe going as the Americans. I don't know, the Americans do have some really cool stuff here, though. God, this is going to be a fun camp. This generally looks like it's going to be a really fun campaign, so, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments, what you guys think about this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.